So let's look at a stretch for the lung channel. Lung channel runs from the thumb, inside of the forearm, up the arm, and into the chest. We're specifically going to look at a stretch for the muscles and fascia of that channel, this myofascial plane that I would refer to as the lung sinew channel. It's a branch of the channel. So we need to understand a little bit of the anatomy so that we can properly do the exercise. I'm going to cover the anatomy up from the thumb and forearm. Not quite as important for today. Unless you're a clinician, you might want to know that, so I'll cover it. But we're also going to look then at the arm and chest. This is going to be the main territory we're working with this exercise. So first of all, we have the thenar muscles. Then we have a muscle called the flexor carpi radialis. What that does is it flexes the carpi, which is the wrist. So it's wrist flexion, but it also moves it to the radial or the thumb side. So flexor carpi radialis is a muscle that moves the wrist. We also have a muscle, flexor pollicis longus. Pollicis is thumb, so that flexes the thumb. So those are two muscles of the lung sinew channel. They connect with the next series, which is the biceps, through the bicipital aponeurosis, a fascial expansion there. We don't have to worry too much about that. Now we're getting into the territory that we want to think about for this exercise. And that's the biceps, long and the short head of the biceps. If I were to strengthen the biceps, I could do curls. And what do you do when you do curls is you bend or flex the elbow. That's what the biceps do. But you also do this motion, supination. So the forearm supinates. So that would be active in bicep curls, not just the elbow flexion, but also the forearm supination. To stretch it, we need to pronate. We need to turn the other way, and we're going to be doing that out here. So that's going to be the first thing to notice. So working up from the biceps, we get into the next muscle, which is the pectoralis minor. Pectoralis minor attaches to a little projection of the shoulder blade called the coracoid process. From there, it goes to ribs 3, 4, and 5. So when I do stretch the biceps and move through this exercise, I don't want that area to shorten and pull the coracoid process closer to ribs 3, 4, and 5. I want that coracoid process to pull back. So we have to have a good understanding of that muscle so that we can stretch it and pull on the chest. That's going to expand the rib cage. It's going to give volume and space for the lungs. So we're working with the sinew channel, but we're also working with volume for the lungs. We're working with the lung organ itself. Let's look at the exercise. Arms are going to be crossed. First thing I want to do is start to open the chest. I'm going to turn the forearms out. I've covered this actually in another video and highlighted how that's being driven from the muscles of the shoulder blades to pull the shoulder blades together and down. So you can check out that video. We're going to take it from here now. So I'm reaching out, open, and now I need to find that pronation in motion, that forearm motion. So what that means is I'm going to turn my thumb down, which basically means I'm turning the forearm, turn the thumb down. That's going to put a stretch on the biceps. Continue and open. That's going to further stretch the biceps. Big point here is I don't want my shoulders now to go forward. I might have a propensity for injury if I do that, but also I'm missing that stretch and pulling open that whole channel. So I need to keep my shoulders pulled back and then relax. Open, forearms turn, expand out, reach, turn, pronate the forearms, pull the chest open. Relax the chest. Open, expand out, turn, keep the shoulder blades open. And back to the beginning, down. So let's look at a self-mobilization to increase the range of motion for pronation. so we can find that more effectively when we're in the full move. So this is pretty straightforward. I'm going to take the heel of my hand, I'm going to place it on my wrist on the thumb side, and that's going to be a lever. I'm going to push with that. But then I'm going to reach my fingers around so I can pull. It's a push and pull. Elbow down by the side. Turn my forearm. It's not a shoulder motion, so I don't want to lift and do this. I want to do just the forearm. So turn. So push and pull. Small motion. You don't have to go too far. I can assist that by lifting little finger and ring finger, pushing down the thumb and index finger, creates a little bit of spiral, and then I can mobilize and increase the range of motion for pronation. Relax, back to neutral, turn. I'm going to do most of the activity myself, and this hand is only helping a little bit to help increase that range of motion and guide the motion. Relax. Turn. Relax. Turn. I can exhale to help engage. Relax. And continue. Okay, so now can I find that motion when I'm out here? So my fingers are reaching out. Turn. Forearm. Turn. And let that wind through the arm. It's like wringing out a towel. So then I'm in position to pull back, keep the shoulder open, expand the chest. So I need to be able to pull that shoulder open and prevent the shoulder from going forward. Open, stretching the pec minor from the coracoid process to ribs 3, 4, and 5. So I have a stretch coming all the way through the lung channel. Open, pronate, reach back.